Hey, did you know there are some really fascinating facts about Spider-Man that a lot of people might not be aware of?
Oh really? Like what? I'm always up for some Spider-Man trivia.
Alright, how about this? Spider-Man's greatest villain is often considered to be the Green Goblin, aka Norman Osborn.
Yeah, I remember the Green Goblin from the movies. Isn't he the one who caused Gwen Stacy's tragic fall?
Exactly, and it's that emotional depth that makes Goblin such a formidable nemesis. Speaking of tough adversaries, did you know Spider-Man also fought the Hulk?
No way. That sounds pretty brave but reckless. When did that happen?
It happened way back in Amazing Spider-Man number 14 in 1964. Just shows how fearless Spidey is, taking on someone like the Hulk.
I bet he was outmatched though. So, what's something unexpected about Spider-Man's romantic life?
While Gwen Stacy was his first love, Mary Jane Watson became his most iconic love interest. She even has that famous line, "Face it, Tiger, you just hit the jackpot."
Classic MJ. I've always liked her character. So, what's this about Spider-Verse characters I've heard so much about lately?
Oh, the Spider-Verse. There are key characters like Miles Morales, who takes up the mantle after Peter's death in his universe, and Spider-Gwen, a version of Gwen Stacy bitten by the spider instead.
I love that concept. It's like exploring endless possibilities within the Spider-Man legend.
Totally. Speaking of strange possibilities, did you know Spider-Man transformed into a giant spider in the other storyline?
That sounds bizarre and kind of terrifying. How did that even happen?
In the storyline, he literally dies and is reborn after the transformation. It adds some real body horror elements to the mix.
Wow, just when I thought I knew everything about Spidey. Got any fun facts from everyday life?
Well, in the 1990s, there was a Spider-Man-themed cereal that came with web shooter spoons or temporary tattoos. I bet that was a thrilling find for kids to kickstart their mornings.
I would have loved that as a kid. Mornings would have certainly been more exciting. It's amazing how Spider-Man has influenced even everyday items.
Definitely. And speaking of influence, did you know Spider-Man's symbiote suit wasn't just a cool costume change?
Really? I thought it just made him look slicker.
It did much more than that. Gave him enhanced abilities but also made him more aggressive, paving the way for the birth of Venom.
Ah, Venom. An iconic character in his own right. It's fascinating how small elements transform into bigger stories within the universe.
Exactly. And Spider-Man's cultural presence doesn't end there. Remember the show, Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends from 1981?
Oh, yeah, Spidey teamed with Iceman and Firestar. It was one of Marvel's first ensemble animations.
Right, it really set the stage for future Marvel shows and movies. And who can forget that shocking moment during the Civil War comics?
When he unmasked himself to the world, right? Joining Iron Man's side?
Yes, that move had massive consequences. Imagine the toll of revealing such a secret, impacting not only Peter's life but those of everyone around him.
That must have been intense. It highlights the weight of the decisions superheroes have to make.
Absolutely. And if we're talking about real-world impacts, did you know Spider-Man inspired scientists in creating gecko-inspired climbing gloves?
Wow, really? That's incredible, turning fantasy into real technology thanks to his wall-crawling abilities.
It's fascinating how a fictional character has altered technology and pop culture. Any closing thoughts?
Spider-Man truly represents more than just a superhero. His stories resonate so much due to their complexity and relatable dilemmas.
I couldn't agree more. And it makes you wonder how he'll continue to inspire future generations.